Praise God. I'm very, very reluctant to stand up here. I think that almost anything that is said is going to take away, but I believe we've heard from the Lord. I believe we've heard His in word and in heart and in spirit. We've had an awesome confirmation of things the Lord has been talking to us about for a long time. And I guess if there's any one thing that is uppermost in my mind is that we really understand that this is not something just for somebody who's been called to Africa. This applies to every person. Because God does have a purpose for every single one of us. He has a path that He has marked out for us. We heard this Wednesday night. I think of Ricky's testimony and so many demonstrations in word and deed and testimony that we've had lately. God is trying to get our attention. He has a purpose, He has a plan, He has a path for every one of us. He shapes us for that path. There is a reason why we heard what we heard this morning. It's taken a lifetime, hasn't it? But it's the same for every one of us. We wonder why things have happened. But if we're willing to let go and let the Lord have His way, God can take everything that has ever happened to every one of us. He weaves it together. He shapes us for His purpose. And in whatever sphere He places us, whether it's in Africa or whether it's here or in school or in the military or wherever it is, God simply wants His life to shine out. I thought about the thing that Brother Chip used to quote so often, says, preach the gospel on every occasion, and when necessary, use words. It isn't just a matter of blathering out stuff. Anybody can memorize that with in your head, and then you can spew it out your mouth, but it's the life. It's the life that was in Jesus that was the light of the world, and it's the life that He builds in us. If He's going to have life come through us, He's got to do a lot of killing, doesn't He? Because there's a lot of us that wants to hang on. And so all the events of our lives, if we see His hand in it and we let go, we're willing to let go, we're going to have God take us and shape us into what He wants us to be. He's the potter, we're the clay. We're all about, God, why did you do that? Why did I go through this? Why did I go through that? God knows. And I believe with all my heart, God has shaped Sister Jane for exactly where He's taking her. And everything she went through is for a purpose, however painful. But that's true for every one of us too. If we can humble ourselves to that and see beyond and look to God and say, God, you know what you're doing. I just let go. Let go and let God have His wonderful way. So isn't the Lord wonderful? Praise God.